Mike Owens with Inside Fighting, and it is a pleasure to be joined finally in person with Jordan Vucenic, who returns at UFC London facing Chris Duncan. George, always a pleasure, my man. How are emotions at your return?
I'm buzzing, mate. Buzzing to go. Yeah, I genuinely can't wait. Yeah, it feels like a long time coming.
I imagine this must feel like a much different lead up and a much different camp because the last time that we spoke, you were munching on an Oreo bar after your fight
Mm,
with Guram.
yeah,
So, how's it been to have a camp behind you for this one?
it's been wicked, and even going up a fight camp as well. It's just been going up a weight class. Sorry, it's just been so much more enjoyable. It's just been a much healthier. Yeah, just everything. It's just like
Mm,
everything in tenfold.
yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait to go.
In some ways, does this feel like your real UFC debut? Because obviously, I understand that you've wore
Mm.
the UFC gloves, you've fought in a UFC cage, but under less than ideal circumstances. This gives you a full opportunity to show what you're all about.
Yeah, now this is my real UFC debut.
Mm.
And you're going to see that even with the pictures before the fights, just you're going to see a short notice and a full camp, and the performance is going to show big time. I'm telling you,
If if we put you at 100% from what you can be, what would your percentage be of what you were able to show in the Guram fight?
maybe 60%. I
Mm.
mean, I was like fit-ish. I was good enough for a round and a half, maybe. This time, I mean, look, it's fight week, and we were doing 30, 40-minute bag rounds non-stop work. Just I'm flying this camp, and just a lot of wrongs have been put right. I started off the camp in Thailand with my training partner Tarek, and we've just leveled up there and come back, and we've just kept the train rolling. It's just been unreal, unreal.
When I look at the way you fight and I look at the way Chris Duncan fights, I don't see how this one can't not entertain. This one, I
Yeah,
imagine when you got the name Chris Duncan, this one must have excited you a little bit.
yeah, 100%. I said it to my coaches. I said, look, I've got a feeling I'm going to get Chris Duncan in the UK. He says, nah, you won't get another sort of European on the English show. They want to get you something else that says, nah, I have a feeling. I told everybody and I put it into fruition and it come true. And what I've been speaking about to my team is going to come into fruition again in the fight. I'm telling you.
There's a long storied rivalry between England and Scotland. I'm not
Mm,
sure if you're a football fan, but it
yeah,
does extend past sports a little bit. Do
yeah.
you? I know there's a lot of respect between you and Chris, so I'm not insinuating that. But do you like a little bit of home rivalry, let's say?
Well, look, I've not got any English blood in me. I'm half Scottish
Oh,
and
wow.
half Serbian. So yeah,
Is that where the Vucenic comes from?
that's Serbian. The Vucenic
Right, okay.
Serbian, and then my mum's Campbell, and my granny was yeah. Sorry, my mum and side's
So
all
you've just read
Campbell.
me
So
question there is what you've done, but okay.
yeah, but yeah,
I'm
nah.
only
So
kidding.
nah.
I'm only kidding.
So look, this is Scotland. This is little.
Scotland versus
Where I'm
Scotland.
from, Corby's called Little Scotland. So this is Little
All
Scotland
right,
versus
okay.
Scotland. But Chris is American, man. He trains in America, so
Mm.
he's American in my eyes. So I'm fighting an American guy.
You've headlined at the O2, albeit the smaller arena, many times. So I
Mm.
imagine you've had a little bit of a glimpse in terms of what fighting in front of your home
Mm.
crowd must feel like.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is going to be up a step in terms of the O2, big arena, obviously for the UFC. But what do you anticipate that's going to feel like when you make that walk?
like it's meant to be, like I'm home. That's what I
Mm,
think it's going to be like. I think this is going to just be one of them things again, like the UFC debut. I'm
mm,
meant to be there, and now this is the right circumstances. I'm meant to be there.
mm.
Everything's the stars have aligned for this one.
I'm loving your vlog series that you're putting out on your YouTube and your Instagram. I don't know if it's YouTube, but definitely Instagram. And there was one caption that I picked up on when you were thinking you were hitting pads, or there was something that you were doing, and the caption read, "New fight, there's there, new fight, new mindset."
Yeah.
What's changed?
Do you know what it was? Right. This is how I would say it. I used to put the UFC fighters on a pedestal. Yeah.
Mm,
I used to put them up here, and fighting Guram, short notice, very, very good guy. Being around the UFC guys, I've realized it's not that they're not on this pedestal, it's I'm on this pedestal with them.
mm,
That's my new mindset. It's like these guys are very high level, but I'm higher level. And I'm telling you, like, I'm going to show it.
mm. You went viral to a certain extent the last time we spoke with the headline that you were happy that you'd lost because
Mm,
I think if I remember the quote correctly was that if you'd have beat Guram, his UFC career would have been over, yours would have been beginning. But
yeah.
if the fact that you got beat, yours still starts, and his gets a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's fighting on this card. It's almost feel like that's come true, and it's a little bit of a full circle moment. So still got that mindset going into the
Yeah,
fight.
100%. Good
Mm,
things come to good people. I
mm,
mean, I was never a hater on him, and I wanted to see him do well. And now he's on the card same time as me,
mm.
so it's just one of those things. Like, yeah, like I said, I try to just be a good person as much as I can and believe good things come my way. And so far so good.
Talking about rivalries and talking about ex-opponents, I imagine, given the friendship or the bond between yourself and Paul Hughes, it must be nice to see what he's done
Yeah,
in
100%.
his career.
100%. It's good to see him going on and doing the things he's doing and watch them level up again all the time. So, and yeah, I think the feeling's mutual from his end. I'm sure he's going to be watching. You always want your ex opponents win, lose or draw. You always want them to do well. So, yeah, I'm glad to see him mixing up the best in the world and showing that he's up there.
Because there was that little 3-man round robin of yourself, Paul, and Morgan, who were like almost a cut above everybody else in Cage Warriors, and there was this question about when are one, if not two, if not all three of you, going to get your opportunity in the big leagues, and Morgan's on this card with you as well.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Charrier's such a great fighter as well, So it's just like everybody knew we were all going to be at the highest level, eventually. So yeah, it's just crazy now that we are actually all there. It wasn't all just like a little triangle hype train. Like we genuinely were the real deal.
First time that we spoke, you never had no kids. Now I can tell by the tattoos on your face that you still have kids.
Yeah.
You have 2 kids. Are either going to be there on Saturday night?
No, they're not. I've got 3. I've got my oldest as well.
Of course.
I've got 3.
Excuse me.
They're not going to be there, but my 2 littlest, they haven't got a Scooby-Doo at the minute. I mean, they're in the gym with professional fighters non-stop. They're seeing people spar and feel pelt, and to them, it's just a walk in the park. So a normal day. My older one, he's a bit more savvy. He's a bit switched on. He's FaceTiming me. He's saying, I want you to be, he said to me the whole time, I want you to be in the red corner. And today I found out I'm in the red corner. So I phoned him and said, hey, guess what? I'm in the red corner. And he was buzzing. So it's nice. It's nice. I've always said I wanted them to be proud of who their dad was as they grow up. I didn't want them to be like, oh, fucking hell, my dad's in the UFC. I wanted them to be like, yeah, my dad's a UFC fighter, and be proud of it. And I think I'm going the right way about making that a true statement.
Can I just ask before we move on to my final topic, because we caught up with Chris a little bit earlier and he said that one thing that Jordan does better than him, that he'll admit, is he's got more tattoos than him. And I asked him are there certain areas of his face or of his body that he wouldn't get tattoos? And he said his neck and his face are certain areas that he wouldn't get tattoos. I can obviously see yours. Are there any areas of your body that you wouldn't get a tattoo on? Because I feel like you're running out.
Well, the old fucking crown jewel, I think, it'll be a bit sore again. I actually look like I've got boxers on, like a set of white boxers. That's how I can describe my body's tattooed until here, and then there's no white ass. Yeah, so I don't know. Do I need it tattooed? Not only my missus really sees that, so do I really need it? But no, I don't know. But as for Chris saying that he wouldn't get his neck or his face tattooed, I mean, it's normally people when they think they're nice looking don't get their necks or face tattooed. So I don't know what he's drinking out in America or wherever he's from, but yeah.
Well, last question from me, George. Thank you so much for your time. Talk me through, as you envisage it, what a perfect day looks like on Saturday.
Just putting on an absolute clinic and showing all the people that believe in my skill set why they believe in the skill set. I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be if you're a fan of Chris Duncan, I think it's going to be painful to watch.
I love it, mate. Well, look, this was long overdue. We've talked a lot of times over Zoom, and I'm very glad that we could get the opportunity to speak in person. Have a great and safe rest of camp, and best of luck for the fight.
Sound boy, thank you very much.